Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday and Success Day here on the podcast. And this week we have with us to answer the success question, Stella Ihenacho. Hey, Stella, welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good to be back.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about success in a second. But first, let's dive into one of the critical tools we have in our toolbox to try and achieve that success. That is Agile retrospectives, of course. So Stella, share with us, what's your favorite retrospective format and why?
Yes. So I would say mine is, there are multiple, right? But I'm just going to go with one that I think anyone can literally leverage, even beyond a Scrum team. So it's a start, stop, and continue. It's very easy, very basic. With the questions, you don't have to think far and out about the questions. And so for me, I'll say the start, stop, and continue. But before we even do the start, I'll definitely say the thanks. So there's one part of it where is who are you grateful for? Who are you thankful for? That's something that I add to those questions. So we've come to the end of the sprint. All right. So before we go into the sprint and how we did, can we first of all just say who we're thankful for, who we're grateful for, and why? Just again, to get everyone's mindset in that way of gratitude. And again, that team work, that team morale, and make sure that everyone is feeling a little bit excited about just the work that they've done before we go into the start, stop, continue. So, start, stop, continue is literally start is what activities or practices should the team start doing? Right? What should they start doing to, again, maybe either enhance, either their productivity, how they work together, their collaboration, or their overall performance. And then stop is what do they want to stop doing? What do they think is either hindering their progress or hindering, their delivery, or what do they want to stop or eliminate it? And what do they want to continue? What's something that they think is working for them and they want to continue, and maybe it could also help them improve their performance. And the good thing about start, stop, continue is that something that they want to stop could be something that they maybe started last sprint, or something they want to continue could be something that maybe they stopped last sprint. And so it's never a black or white kind of approach, right? Again, because every sprint gives you new data that you can leverage with. So why do I like it? I'll say the simplicity of it, because regardless of where a team might be, I would say at their stage of agile maturity, they can literally do start, stop, continue, right? Anyone can grasp the content. It's not, there's no image and all of that. I'm not saying that those ones aren't good, but again, any team can start this literally, regardless of their agile maturity or where they are in their team development journey. And another good thing about this, I would say, is just how the conversations are really focused as well. So you're able to say, okay, in this area of start, stop, continue, you can really guide on what the actions are, what the improvements are. You can have like insights from, okay, so we should start doing this, and how do we start doing this? We should stop doing this, and why should we stop doing that, right? And it also gives that, I would say, balanced reflection. So we're just not talking about starting, we're just not talking about stopping, but there's balance across the board, based on the 2 weeks of the close sprint. And I would say as well, again, like I said, it can be adaptable. So depending on the project, depending on the delivery, depending on the whatever it is, the bug, whatever they worked on, you can literally use that start, stop, continue format for that specific work that they've done. So I would say that is one of my just favorite, because
and it is, as you say, it's simple to get started with. It's easy to explain, and we can quickly get into it. The thing that kind of struck me was that how you used the gratitude start for that workshop, right? Or for that retrospective, like this kudos or saying thank you to someone who helped you during the sprint. How do you introduce that idea to your teams?
Oh, it's I don't overthink it. I just say, well, we've come to the end of the sprint. First of all, I'm very aware of what's going on during the sprint. So I can see someone in a daily saying, oh, I'm going to reach out to you to help you on this. And I literally put it there like, kudos to you. Well done. Oh, you're a champ, and I'm putting those things out there. They might not care for it, but it doesn't matter. I'm seeing and I'm calling out because you want to appreciate good behavior so that it helps others think about that too. Or if someone say, oh, I work with this person to unblock this. Well, that's awesome. And so as soon as this retrospective start, I'm like, well, the past 2 weeks has been wonderful. We might not have met our sprint goal, but I definitely saw so much going on, collaboration. You are supporting one another. Let's take a moment to just think about who do we want to say thank you to in the sprint or for the concluded sprint? Who do you want to give their flowers to? Let's give them their flowers. Let's say thank you. And maybe talk about why. And then they do that. And that's always one of the amazing one because people always have multiple people they want to thank. And sometimes it might not be people within the team, maybe outside of the team. And then I can take that to that person outside, like, whoa, like we called you out, we say thank you to you. And again, you got to build that culture. A culture would not build itself if you don't build it. So that's one of the things that I do.
Yeah, absolutely. The culture doesn't build itself. We need to build it. That's very well said. Talking about culture, of course, we want to build a culture of success, but success is hard work, not the least of which we need to know what it is for ourselves. So that's the first question for you, Stella. How do you define success for yourself as a Scrum Master?
Oh, that's a loaded question. How do I define success? Okay, so I'll say success in my role as a Scrum Master, I would say is multifaceted, right? Because I have my own definition of success. My team has their own definition of success and what they expect a Scrum Master should do. My manager might have his own definition of success. Just different things. And so I would say for me is ensuring just thinking about encompassing how the team works and the overall delivery of value. But for me, these are the key things I would say that define successful outcome for my work. Is number one, agile principles, embracing agile principles. Are the people around me embracing agile principles? How are they embracing agile principles? How are they responding to change? How are they delivering, working solutions or software to our customers and to our clients? And how are they doing that at a sustainable pace? Right. And so to me, I would say those are like one of my definition of, just success as a Scrum Master when I'm in an environment. On that success, I would say for me is, how am I building a organized team, right? How are my teammates, my team members, or again, leadership, whosoever, how are they taking ownership of their work? Do they feel like they see the value of their work and how their work connects to the North Star, right? How are they self-organized to solve problems? If I'm not there, can they think outside the box and think about how to solve their issues by themselves? How are they demonstrating that sense of empowerment? Have I unconsciously become their own roadblock, right? So for me, that is another definition of success is how am I empowering and supporting and empowering and building that self-organizing team. Another success for me as a Scrum Master, I would definitely say is just that team dynamics again and ensuring that am I empowering, building that high performing team dynamics. So the team, can they communicate openly? Is there transparency? Is there that continuous improvement, right? Are they thinking not just about the work, new features and new deliveries, but are they thinking about technical debt and working through all of that? Are they taking that as part of their sprint work, right? How do they have to be told to do that? Or do they also know that that is part of the work that they should deliver? Have I shifted their mind in that aspect of thinking? So that's one way as well that I would measure my success, as a Scrum Master. And of course, the one that we also know is just effective sprint deliveries, right? Is what is our pace of delivery at the end of every sprint? Are we meeting or exceeding our stakeholders, expectations? Do we have that sprint goal? And even if we don't meet it, how are we getting better sprint after sprint after sprint? And last but not the least, I would say for sure, just that continuous improvement culture is as long as someone has a continuous improvement mindset and culture, there's always going to be room for growth. There's always going to be room for improvement. There's always going to be room for being better than we were at last sprint. So those are the things I would say from a team perspective, because like I said, team perspective, stakeholders perspective will all be different when it comes to what a Scrum Master success should be like. But from a team perspective, those are the ones that I would definitely say for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're all very important. I think many of these questions are those that we would expect to reflect on, right? Like as Scrum Masters, is the team self-organizing? Are they taking ownership of their work? But you said something there that doesn't often come up. It is very important, no doubt, but doesn't often come up. And you said, are they open about how they are doing? Now, I don't know what you meant by that, but what I hear based on, my experience and also having had this conversation almost for a week now with you is it's not just about how they are doing related to their work, but also are they open about how they are doing in terms of motivation, in terms of
Yes.
clarity of the goals, in terms of emotional stability? Because, if we come to work with some heavy, perhaps even unsettling emotions, that's going to have an impact on our work. So I heard this. Is that what you meant, Stella?
That's exactly what I meant.
Absolutely, because we do need to treat our teams as full people, right? Like not automatons, but rather as human beings that
Yes.
for whom all of these aspects are important.
Absolutely. And it can get hard because again, not just most of us work virtually, right? When we're in the office, it's easier for you to catch a coffee break with someone and meet them at the lobby and say hello and give them a high five. Now we're virtual, and now there's deliverables, and now there's goals and there's work. You can get into that. So it takes such intentionality to step back. And so things like Fun Friday could help. Things like before we start our daily stand-up, if you open 5 minutes before daily stand-up, just come, let's chit chat. Things like, all those little things could really shift that. But apart from that, building that relationship with each individual to a level where they can trust you and they can be open with you, but also with the team as well. With a team as well. I think that is so key.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the word you used, intentionality, because we need to be intentional if we want to be successful. Thank you for sharing all of those insights with us, Stella.
My pleasure.
Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday Product Owner episode. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.